Welcome to Being Sharon Gibson's podcast, PSG.
Hello, BSG fighters. Welcome back to another insightful episode. Today is my birthday. Happy birthday to me. This is season 6, episode 6, featuring Cherill Postill, a life coach, sales professional, speaker, and a published author. As intended, I'm going to transform your mind into a strong and positive mind. Before I dive into today's topic, I'd like all of you to know that my TikTok and YouTube community are different from my podcast community, so check out my videos on these platforms. Welcome, Cherie. How are you doing?
Hey, Sharon, happy birthday. I am doing wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. It's a privilege to be here. I've been looking forward to it.
I'm so glad to have you here, to be honest. Thank you so much for being on the wonderful show. Thank you for being on my show. I'm really grateful that you're here, and I'm glad we connected, to be honest. So can you tell us more about yourself?
Yes. You know, what you said is pretty much it. I am a published author.
Yeah.
I'm a life coach, certified through the Brave Thinking Institute. Yeah. I am also a 7-figure sales executive in the past. I have, like I said, I've got a published book that went best-selling when I launched it. My main goal, though, is I love to help people. I'm coming to you right now live just south of St. Louis, Missouri, USA. So I'm just really thrilled to be here that the technology works.
I know. I'm in love with technology, honestly. Like, I'm just so much in love with it because of how it's connecting the world. Obviously, there are always, disadvantages to things, but I'm just really grateful with how it's connecting the world, because a few years ago, this wouldn't be possible.
No, we would not be able to talk with ourselves and share our message with so many people.
Exactly. So I'm so thankful for that. So today's topic is titled Success is a Mindset. So Cherie, diving right into the main question of the day, why do people see having a lot of money as success?
Well, you know, I love the fact that we premise this with success is a mindset, because right now, I just have to pause here and point this out. The world is mesmerized by the evidence that mindset creates success. We're all mesmerized by the Olympics. We're seeing human beings do things that don't even look possible. True. And ask any one of those athletes if mindset was a key to their success. Don't even need to tell you the answer is yes, because you know it is. Anyway, let's get back to the question. Why do people see having a lot of money as success? Well, you know, the main reason is because money is a symbol. And money is a symbol of the two things that, as far as I can tell, every living thing on earth values. The first one is safety. Money for a human being represents food safe, shelter safe, and health safe, being able to take care of yourself. And the second one is freedom. Every living thing values freedom. Money gives you freedom from the fear of those things, and it gives you the freedom to do, have, be, and give whatever you want. If the reality of it is, Sharon, if you don't have any money, you have nothing to trade and no way to navigate or survive in our society. That's one of the main reasons, but let's dive a little deeper into that. Another reason people think that having a lot of money is success is because this is what we're told. Let me ask you this. If I said to you, Sharon, if I said, you know what? Wayne is a really successful author. Oh, and Jenny is a very successful lawyer.
All the mind is she has a lot of money.
Yes, you think they have money. You assume. So we could literally transpose the word money for success, because our society shows us, and our culture worldly shows us, that success and money go hand in hand. But here is one of the things that causes so much stress for people. This is a polarity and an irony. On the one hand, we're taught that having a lot of money is great. It means success. You can even transpose the words. But on the other hand, we are shown in not just subliminal ways, but in many ways, that people with a lot of money are immoral, wicked people. Or they're more likely to be immoral.
True. That's so true. That's ridiculous. I know. I hear it all the time, and I'm just like, but we want money. Yet you hear so many people speak bad about people who have a lot of money. We demonize them. And it's just like, but you want to have the wealth that they do have. So why are you demonizing them?
Well, and even think about it's subconsciously ingrained in even the words that we use. Things like, oh, gosh, he's filthy rich.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
filthy. And there are a lot of examples, but I do not like negative words. So I'm going to move, and I'm just going to say, from a very early age, though, we are shown the same narrative over and over again. One of the most famous stories in the world, it's a classic, Ebenezer Scrooge. Yeah, think about that. He's cold-hearted, he has an angry disposition, and he's the bad guy. And then here we have our hero, oh, I love him, Bob Cratchit. Yeah, you couldn't be any poorer than Bob Cratchit. But what? Why is he our hero? Because he is kind-hearted and compassionate. We love the stories of the poor people who started with nothing and worked their way up to create an empire. But guess what? Once they get there, the attitude of a lot of people changes. So I'm asking you, Sharon, which is it? Is money good, success, or is it the root of evil? Yeah. Do you see, the polarity is it causes a lot of stress.
Yeah, it does cause a lot of stress. So what does success mean to you?
Success to me means two things. One, having a crystal clear vision of what I desire and want, and serving my heart and fulfilling my purpose every day. I want to wake up every day saying, I love my life.
Yeah.
And I want to have fun doing it because fun is a part of it. And what I can see is that the money follows the success.
So true. One thing I've noticed is that you don't even need like a lot of money to enjoy your life. I've been able to do certain things in my life, and it's like my bank account and what I didn't even match. I don't know how I pull it off, but some way, somehow, the things that I want to do, I end up doing them, and it's just like, whoa. So that's when it got me thinking about money, and I got the opportunity to write an article about minimalism, and I did that. I went into, the minimalist world, and it got me thinking about, the meaning of life. What's the meaning of life to me? How would I define success? And I was like, I am successful. I am successful in my life because I wake up doing the things that I love to do. I'm happy with where I'm at. I'm not in any rush to achieve anything. And I have the greatest wealth of all time, which is the understanding of life and the mindset that I have. Also, peace. I have an inner peace that surpasses anybody's understanding. I promise you, like the peace that I have, it's crazy. Even today, I went for my coaching session. On my way there was this big dog, right? Usually, like, I pass by dogs all the time, like big dogs, small dogs, like everybody likes walking their dogs. But this dog was like very aggressive. It felt like it wanted to eat me apart, like tear me apart. But I was just so calm. Like in my head, I was just like, but what's wrong with this dog? And I was so surprised that I wasn't shaking. It felt like I was a witness to what was happening, to how I was acting. And I just crossed to the other part, and I was just like walking, and I was surprised at my actions though.
Because you understand that you have, and everybody has so much greatness in them. Because, when people say, what do I feel success means? And yes, I think that being awake and knowing who I am, that I am a spiritual being living a human experience. And I am creating my world. Every day I create my world because thoughts become things. And the second thing that really, to me, interprets to success is that I found my purpose of serving people. And I have the thrill and the privilege of teaching a proven, reliable system to bring people's dreams into reality, because everybody has a dream.
Everybody has a dream.
But most of those dreams live in a world permanently that never comes into reality. And I have studied those success systems, and I know how it works. And there was that movie called The Secret.
Oh, by Rhonda Byrne.
The law of abundance, right?
I do, by Rhonda Byrne. I love her.
Well, know this, Sharon. There is a method of bringing all of your dreams into reality. And most of what people miss is that success is not a result of making money. Making money is a result of success. And success is in direct proportion to our service. I think Earl Nightingale said that. And what I find is that success always precedes financial gain.
That's so true.
But I think we need to shift our mindset around money, talking about, is it good or is it bad, right?
Yeah. And I also think that one of the things people should focus on, especially like in their youth and probably even in their 30s, is that they should focus on mastery before achievement, building up their skill set and being so good at it that everybody will want them, adding so much value to themselves before they even think about any financial gains. Because I noticed that so many people are in a hurry to amass wealth. But one thing I do, because I love to have introspections with myself, I work on every weakness that I have, every mistake I have made. I learn from my past experiences, and it has taken me years. I started being an entrepreneur when I was 20 years old. And I am not a millionaire yet. Neither have I ever made profit. I didn't break even at any point in any business I have taken, but I have learned a lot. And I'm glad everything panned out the way it did, because I'm like, once I get it right, it's going to be beautiful. Most people rush, they get it, and there's no sustainability. But what I'm learning is the foundation I'm laying. By the time I reach the peak, it will be easy for me to sustain myself because the foundation is very strong. One thing I've learned is it can take years to build a foundation. And we can even use the analogy of when you're building a house. It's easy to build a house, but the part of the house that takes a long time is when you're laying the foundation of the house. I've seen that before because my mom put up a building in our house. So I saw how long it took for them to lay the foundation. That applies to every single thing you do in your life. You need to lay the foundation, and it takes time. And sometimes we feel pressured because other people, it feels like they got it fast. But one thing we don't know, you never know somebody's story. You never know when the person started. They're different stories. So we all have to focus on ourselves. And most of the people who seem to have made it earlier, when we look at it critically, the truth of the matter is for very few and far between. It's not for so many, it's not many. It's not the vast majority. And that doesn't mean you're not special. It's because there's a reason why they made it at that time. But me, if I'm supposed to say what success means to me, trust me, is having peace and the wisdom to live life.
That's lovely. Yes. I love the freedom that money gives me.
Me
And the
too.
ability to give what I want to give. And I don't put that as a priority in any way in my life, and never have.
Yeah.
And most of it comes with just confidently moving towards your goal.
I love how you're narrating, how the world view about success, could change, or not necessarily change, but it's really good. And we are all deserving of abundance. Sometimes when I look at these videos of beautiful places in the world, I'm like, whoa, the world is beautiful. They're amazing places, mind-blowing places that you feel like you're in paradise.
Everybody deserves to live the life that they love. And it doesn't mean world travel to some people.
Yeah, it
doesn't mean great wealth. It means finding a purpose in your life and finding a joy in your life.
I noticed that most people have a very bad relationship with money. You mention somebody who's very rich and they say something bad about the person. If you have this view about rich people, you will never get there. And that's one thing I've noticed, is that most people who are destined or determined to be rich or to be successful, they don't speak bad about other people who have gone ahead of them. Taking it back to when you started talking about athletes, that's so true, because I'm even an athlete myself. My first race was horrible. So horrible. It was raining, and it wasn't even raining, droplets of water. It was raining. I don't even know what it was. Whether it was ice. And when I ran, it was a bad race. Very, very bad. But what happened was I went back and I was like, I'm going to train harder and I'm going to get in the right mind space, because it wasn't even just about it raining, but before that race, I wasn't in the right mental space. It was just terrible. I was drained mentally. So mindset really does play a big role in your success, because the next race I did, I was second, with all these girls that I ran with. Yes, it was like a big jump. Even with the seconds, it was a big, difference. Mindset did play a big role in that, because I was like, I'm ready to do this and I know I can do it. And I made sure that I got into the right mind space before that race, and I did so well in that race.
So did you finish the first race? What happened with that one?
Oh, I finish all my races. Even if I'm the slowest, I will finish my race. This is a message I really liked that went viral on social media. It was a lady that said, finish what you started. And she kept saying it over, finish what you started. That message right now is in my subconscious and it's in my conscious. So every single thing I do, once I start it, I'll finish it. I keep saying, I am constantly working on having the highest level of integrity. So once I say something, not to even just anybody, but once I say something to myself, I make sure that I do it. So I keep promises to myself. I have so much self-respect, which really helps me to complete anything I lay my hands on or I do, or any project I undertake. So yeah, so I did finish that race, but even though it didn't end well, I came back, I cried, and I went back on track and I worked harder.
Oh, that's such a powerful statement, though, that you keep the promises to yourself.
Yeah, I do.
Thank you. That's wonderful. That's very intuitive. I like that.
Thank you. Keeping promises to yourself, I promise you, it will build your confidence, increase your self-esteem.
Yes, you know, Thoreau did an experiment with life. He spent 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days, and his conclusion was that, right, but he says if one walks confidently in the direction of their dream, endeavoring to live the life that they imagine, they pass an invisible boundary and meet with a success unknown in common hours. And that's just the beginning of it. So if nothing else, he says you will learn to live with the license of a higher order of being. So his life experiment, he wanted to suck the marrow out of life. And what he found was that if you have a vision and you're clear and you move towards that every day consistently, you will get exactly what you're looking for.
That's so true. That's very powerful.
Are you ready for the comfort break question? Comfort break question.
So the comfort break question for today is, would you rather be able to control time or fly?
I'd rather be able to fly.
Yeah. But they say time is precious. Time is money. Time is everything. So where would you want to fly? Where would you fly to?
I look at time differently than a lot of people, I imagine, and I have a different view of my eternal spirit. So on this life right now, physically, I would rather fly. Let me tell you a joke. Okay, so an old man goes into the forest, and he hears this little voice saying, help me, please help me. Yeah. And he looks down at the little frog sitting there. We all know the story of the frog and the princess, right? And he picks up the frog, and the frog says, oh, please just give me a kiss. If you give me a kiss, he said, I will give you any pleasure that you can think of. And the old man looks at the frog and says, really? And yes. But he puts the frog in his pocket. Yeah. And the frog's going, let me out of here. I told you. Yeah. Just kiss me. But then he looks at it and he says, you know what? At my age, I think I'd rather have a talking frog. So it's all about perspective, Sharon. Yeah. I love having fun. Yeah, me too. And to me, being able to fly would give me an additional freedom that I've always wanted to fly. So see, that was an easy one for me to answer.
Oh my God, you just made me laugh. So if you had the opportunity, which country would you fly to? What was the first country you would fly to?
The first thing I would do is probably hit Europe. I'd love to fly over Europe.
Oh, right now. You should come to Europe. Come to France.
Yes, and I would be that. That I feel like a drone watching the Olympics. That would be so cool. Fly over there. Yeah, there's a lot of places I'd go, but mostly I just have a lot of fun.
The security wouldn't catch you.
They couldn't. I'm flying. A flying human? Come on. Who's going to believe there's a human flying around? Right?
Oh my God, that's so funny. Thank you so much for this laugh. Thank you so much for this laugh. Okay, so now let's dive back into our questions. What could possibly give others more fulfillment than money?
Oh, that's a big one. Okay, well, you know what? I was going to answer that, but I'm going to change. Let's find out. Sharon, I'm going to give you $15 million right now. 20 million, whatever let's say 20 million. Okay. But here's the catch. You can never contact your friends or family. You can't share with them. In other words, you have to walk away from your current life. Okay. Would you take the $20 million?
That's a good question. Cherie, that's a very good question. Cherie, you said friends and family. Cherie, for some reason, I think I'll take the $20 million.
Okay.
I'll take no, you didn't include like life partner, right? So I will take the $20 million.
No, everything. You have to walk away from your current life. That's what I said. You have to walk away from everything in your current life, and you cannot share the money or admit to having it. And you're walking away from your current life, but I'm going to give you $20 million to start a whole new life with people, and can't be anybody you know. And your answer would have to be what? Yes or no?
Sure, that's a hard question for me. I'm not gonna lie.
There you go. And again, let's take a look at the frog and the older man. It depends your perspective, where you're purchased in life. So we do value things more than money, right? Right now, I wouldn't sell my dog for $20 million.
Yeah.
But that's because of where I am in my life, and the joy of knowing who I am is very valuable to me.
Yeah.
So now, come on, let's face it. Okay, 20 years ago, 40, what I might have said, yeah. And some people would say, and I might ask them, would you give up your career? And some people might say no.
Obviously, I love my friends and family, but if I'm to choose between, like, for example, what I'm doing now, if I'm to choose between writing in my podcast and creating on social media and helping people with their mindset and $20 million, trust me, I would even think twice. I would choose my career.
So you just answered the question. What could possibly give you more fulfillment?
Because sometimes, because sometimes family can be a pain in the ass. So it's easy for me to say, you know what, I'm going to get a new family and take the $20 million.
There you go.
But like with my purpose, please take your money away. It's not even a joke. Like, I love what I do because what I do, it makes me feel wealthy.
So the joy and the fulfillment
the joy
of that is more than money. So we just answered that question beautifully. In other words, the answer is it is subjective.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. Wow. Thank you for that. So how do we shift our focus from financial gains to self-development, mastery before achievement? How do we do that?
Well, I think I kind of gave you a clue as to how I feel about that earlier, because again, I'm going to answer with a question. Do we need to? Mastery by itself is achievement, and part of achievement is abundance. Abundance and joy is a key element to living a life that we love. And when we start to see that polarity and we separate the two, this is where we get into trouble. There is nothing to be guilty or ashamed of including financial success in your vision, in your dream. Because if you don't, you're pushing it away. We get into those limiting paradigms and those blocks in your mental ability. If you really believe deep down that your success cannot be tied to financial freedom, then it never will be.
Wow. Oh my God. Do you know, like, as you were speaking right now, I felt liberated. I felt some limitations just leave my body. You said it beautifully. You don't have to separate it. I see certain people who are talented. I go like, oh, how much do you charge for this? Oh, I don't charge anything. It's for free. And I do the same thing. Why? Because you feel like, I don't need that money. Like, oh, you don't have to make everything about money. And most of us have that limiting beliefs, but we don't even know that we have it.
I went through this before. I didn't value myself enough to say I am worth this. And once you understand, just a shift in our relationship with money.
Shift in our relationship, yes.
And fear is the biggest roadblock to everything. The minute you step outside of your comfort zone or the world of your own reality, fear comes up. It's not an if, it's a when. Fear will come up. We're always afraid when we step outside of our comfort zone. Yeah. So we could do an entire podcast on that, and we're not going to. But again, and having the privilege like you do of revealing these things and evolving people and empowering people to see these things is what really gives me life.
Is it okay to say I love money?
Yes. They say the root of all evil, right, is money. No, it's the love of money. So to say I love money is in itself, no, that's not bad, because I love my children. I love my dog. I love a lot of things, and money allows me to give, receive, have, do, and be whatever I want. I don't have to be rich, and I'm not rich, wealthy to what some people might look at it at that level. Yeah. But being able to do those things and move freely within a society that revolves, our relationship has to change with that. Both of them can be included in the same dream.
Beautiful. Full of wisdom. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Before you leave, can you please share a life lesson you live by?
Yeah, I'm going to quote from Howard Thurman. He was, he's a philosopher, a Christian mystic, an educator, a civil rights leader. And I live by this every day. It's don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive. And do that, because what the world needs is people who have come alive.
Oh my God.
And that's Howard Thurman. He was 1999 to 1981. Like I said, he was a civil rights leader. Love that quote. And I do live by that every day.
Me too.
I do.
I've never heard this quote before, but I feel alive.
Yeah.
So just hearing that is really going to put my life into perspective, because it's like, I feel alive, but yet sometimes I ask myself, oh, what do I have to do something? Like, what does the world need? How can I help the world? But this message just hit me, and it resonates with me so much.
Well, your vibration is so high,
Oh.
and you're just so fun to be with. I can feel the vibration. I can feel the love that you pour out. And that's what the world needs.
That's amazing. Beautifully said. Oh my God. Like, I want to have more conversations with you.
I feel the same. I know that we're writing the same book, so to speak.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, sharing with the world that everyone has greatness in them.
Everyone has greatness within them.
That's exactly what Thoreau meant when he said, you will meet with success unknown in common hours. Universal laws will start to change. Things will start to work around you in ways that favor you. And you start to see these things and you realize that you're just being this joyful, giving, kind-hearted person is living. You said it before. You live with integrity.
Yes.
You live what you teach, and you over-deliver. So that's what we need, is people who are awake. Because when people feel life, they're happy.
Yes.
And that is much better.
Thank you for this wisdom.
This was a great mastermind. And again, this is a privilege, and I thank you so much for inviting me onto your podcast.
Kindly leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget to fight for the life that you want. Thank you very much for listening.